Traveling to Horizon Luna Colony. Initiating match.
We have House of Evolution and a Coven. Coven still looking for their first win. House of Evolution did pretty solid last week. Went the distance with us on 7.
Did a very good job.
Let's see. Looks like America on that coveted that signature Junkrat. The Firefox 202. I'm not sure I know them. I don't think I've seen them.
The times I have played Coven with him. Definitely someone to watch out for.
I've been holding that high ground. Trella potentially here just to scout, because it looks like the rest of the team hasn't left yet. And they... Let's say that. No, they're gonna stick with the Sombra. Chestin over to the Genji. Noob already chunked down to half health. Has a shield back up. And then a cream soda falling very low. America just spamming into the choke there. And an early pick on the Chestin, and the offense will have to reset. Oh, they're choosing to still create some pressure here. And now they finally back out. Might have been too late, but they do get the pin onto Mrs. Crit, but... And they get the early late pick on the Kane as well. The Ryan comes back. Noob falls late. Bit of a stagger. That'll be a regroup. And even later, stagger onto Trella. Chestin swapped off one weeb over to the other, now on that Hanzo. Quite a few ults though coming along for the defensive side. Nearing both DPS ults and tank ults. Kyle falling very low and Nub with the early pick onto him. Shatter gets 3 though. Counter comes in and gets, yeah. Both huge shatters. Grab being invested as well. At a very
was not
little questionable. Yeah, they already had way too many picks. It's potential fat finger, but maybe. They do secure the fight though.
Why not problems? So. Only thing I'm gonna be here for is pointing out little things, because I was basically nitpicking the entire last game I was commenting on. So I'm just here to nitpick, and if I come off as rude, anybody watching, I apologize.
America gets Chestin with the Riptire.
And it's gonna be coming down to another 5v6 yet again.
Both support ults being used at the same time. Both charges coming in. Nothing netting from either. That's 2 down for the offensive side. We've got 3 potential late staggers here. Trella does have that EMP though. They have EMP in both tank ults, and they're nearing the Grab Dragons combo actually, as I say that. So they could potentially use those 3 ultimates. It's a bit of an overinvest, but considering they need the point, it might just be a worthwhile investment.
Yeah, with just under a minute remaining, they've got to make something happen. Doesn't matter what they do or how they do it, just make it happen. Still have at least 4 minutes added onto their time, so...
You're nearing all 6 ultimates on the defensive side. EMP gets quite a few. Gets everyone, but just no follow-up. As I say that, Grab Dragons, huge combo there.
Huge graviton cane shattering for reason unknown.
I don't know. I don't know why. A potential switch, maybe.
Maybe no, it's a fat finger. Either that or he slipped off the edge and shattered.
That's that could be, yeah.
Yeah.
The animation there.
Unfortunately, used to shatter though, but 5 ults on the side of House of Evolution.
They still have Shatter, and they do have Kyle defenses nearing that Coalescence. They're just gonna go straight to point. 3 ults on the defensive side used there. Erica gets 2 though.
They're working the ults a little bit.
And a very, very questionable Shatter from Move there.
Shatter again coming out.
Yeah, Charlotte nearly got the tick, but
yeah, a little unnecessary, I might add.
yeah. Late stagger onto Chaston. He does have the dragons now, though. But not a lot to really combo with it. Charlotte just manages to get away. Very close to that EMP. Still have Visor and Rally. Do house. Dragons just get them out.
Pushing that high, pushing onto the high ground close to America.
Rally popped in response. EMP, both support ults again.
Does tag 5 with that EMP though.
It does, but not a lot really follows up out of it. Only 1 kill from that EMP. And it looks like a potential res coming in.
Tech Visor coming out. America taking down 2. Firefox hit 1.
This comes in, everyone is just yeah, everyone just dropping. That's a white. A solid
Firefox
hold.
with a 3K and America with a 3K.
That was a solid EMP, but they just did not follow up on it. They seemed very hesitant to follow up on it, and it was just too late. And the res had been gotten off at that point as well.
Chaston. Good strong pick onto America.
Early pick, and I don't know that the res will come in. Nope, as I say that.
Very.
That gets quite a few there.
Kane with 1. Fire will come out. Firefox grabbing 1, Nub getting another. Nub and Kane. The ultimate was used during the fight, but unfortunately got way too many kills for that tire to be effective.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate.
Waste. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily a waste, but it was unfortunate.
It's just unfortunate timing there. Like, you don't typically expect the rest of your team to just completely just get that many picks that quickly when you pull your tire.
Yeah. So
It happens though.
Minute 30. Minute 34.
Shatter comes in, gets a few, but a counter shatter.
Counter shatter only grabbing 1, but the 1 that mattered could have potentially killed Trella.
The rest comes in though. And House managed to hold again. Just over a minute now for Coven. They're nearing quite a few ultimates though. They should have Coalescence. Yeah, they should have Coalescence for this last push. They do have the big combo though.
Yep, they have a Grab Dragon, just more or less the bread and butter to win the game.
Trella could potentially set up a really nice EMP here too. Got most of everyone on the high ground here. EMP gets 4. They're not pushing it. As I say that, Kane falls, but Trella.
Firefox will trade.
A bit more of a DPS Coalescence there.
More or less America playing with her food right now. Takes down Noob with the tire. Kyle contesting the point as long as he can. But unfortunately, he's not going to be doing much against 5 of the...
Yeah, the Grab Dragon just comes out under the point. I don't think they can touch. Nope. Nope. There's a solid hold though, from House.
Very solid hold from House.
Took them to overtime in the first point, and then second point held them. Let's see if they can manage to do any better on the offensive side.
I think the one thing that I will have to mention in terms of House is the more or less they could have resolved that first point if they would have played a little bit more of the aggro game into that. They didn't have a lot of the Coven on board, but it was just one combo after the next
Yeah.
that more or less decided it. And I know Grav Dragons isn't really something you can do about in terms of that, but
Yeah, because even Transcendence typically can't save everyone. It could save most, but sometimes it doesn't save everyone. So even if they had the Zenyatta there, it's still not much you could really do about that. But I feel like they like it kind of more so to your point as well is that they could have played aggro, and what they did was they chose to play way too passively. And when the EMP came out, they all decided to try to rotate back to the point.
mm-hmm.
Which is not a terrible response given that oh EMP, hey, let's play around cover and stuff like that, because we don't know what's going to be thrown our way ultimate wise. But then it took them a little bit too long to do so. They get, what was it, like 4 I think, 5 I think maybe in the dragons, the grab dragon comes in and it's just team wipe basically.
I think another thing in terms of the rotate 2 point was that they were a little too close together, and then that's when they threw the Zarya grab out, and it just more or less decided, hey, it's going to be 5 down.
It's a fat grab. Zarya is just like chomping at the bits to get grabs like that. This is great. Falls early. Hamza managing to pick her off. 2 res over. They do lose their main firepower with that Junkrat. Looks like it'll be a slow left side push on your point. Both teams seemingly just kind of feeling each other out for the moment. Chastin nearing that Riptire.
Not only that, Kane misses and America looking pretty low right now. It's extremely low. Go down to noob early on.
3 early picks. They do get the trade on Danube. And there is no mercy on the defensive side. So they do have a bit of a time window here. To potentially maybe push this.
Yeah, but it'll be just over 2.5 minutes remaining with this push. Both teams having very healthy ultimates reserves right now, but they will go ahead and actually drop the Zarya Rein for the Winston and Eva. A good switch.
To go more dive. Yeah. The only outlier being really the Junkrat, because he's mobile, but he doesn't have a main shield to really get behind the move, like, to hide behind. So see how this works out. Fire comes out, doesn't get it.
With how little room Nub had to make that work, very well done on his end. He takes down Firefox with a fire strike. Generally, Switch is working very well, but I believe the overcommitting of ults was a little too excessive here. The rally came out
very late. Yeah. They did use just about every ult on the defensive side.
Agreed.
Because
I don't
Noob
think
did
they
use
used
the Shatter to start.
Yeah.
They did not use Tac Visor because Chasson just switched. But
Okay.
as far as Firefox, yeah, he did not.
Yeah, Bob, Grav, and Coalescence was used amongst the fight. Misses more or less throwing away the ult to make a switch to Mercy. When dropping the Mercy to then switch to Moira for more impact heals. As well as they're going to go ahead and keep the tanks, as is Chastin with a very good stagger onto Nub with just under a minute remaining. Shatter comes out, grabbing 3 inside that corridor there. 4 on the board, but 5 and 6 are going to be coming back relatively soon.
Yeah, that Shatter right there was not a waste in my opinion because of the time bank right now, and the fact that you got like 2 picks from that. Both DPS ults coming out though. Beat in response.
DPS ult coming out with 1 support ult coming out as well. Firefox taking down Kyle and Hamlet.
Let's get
Hams taking down Fire. America taking down Hams. Noob taking down America. Nub and Sterling.
Yeah. Trades in favor of the offensive side right now. Noob just being the last one alive. Oh, as I say that, never mind. Chasten's with them. They could potentially do something. Chasten's kind of nearing that ultimate, but...
Yep, and what Kane is doing right now is Kane is keeping Noob at bay, more or less just keeping him away from the point for the team to be able to cap. Very good job by Kane here, with the overtime clock ticking down. Hamza does take down Win, but Win will take down Noob. Double take down Trella. Kane will take down Kyle with the cap. And with a very good stagger like that, with 2 down, about to be 3 in a moment, they need to make this push now, like yesterday.
They're down 4.
Diva Bomb coming out as well.
They only need a tick up.
Oh, and a wasted shatter by Noob. More or less just getting juggled by America.
And no one, unfortunately, on the point.
Bob was a little too late to the point, and House of Evolution will take first map.
Yeah, in my opinion, they shouldn't have even committed to that last fight, trying to hold it, getting into overtime. They all should have just died, because there were 2 or 3 that trickled in afterward, trying to keep it contesting and they could get it. But it ended up being their demise, because, as we both mentioned, the stagger kills, they were down 4 going into that fight. And they would just manage to snowball it.
Agreed. For this game, what I've noticed is that for both teams, if you are using your EMPs, go ahead and commit to your ultimate usages. Both teams kind of had their fair share of playing passive, and something I think both teams need to work on. But ultimate economy was very good, positioning was very good, but that was just the only concern I had for both teams. So
yeah,
both teams played spectacularly, either way. So
yeah, you'd like to see the big time ultimates not necessarily go to waste like that.
Agreed. Hams for llamas. All right. All right. Okay, so Crit will be ready for his team, waiting on Trella to give me the go-ahead. What happened? Llamas isn't in. He was in. He was just there. What?
He was, but
Was there?
I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what just happened there. That was a bit
I don't
weird.
know. You might have to put hands in. I'll let it. I'm running low on time. I haven't seen that face in a while, but unfortunately, he will have to leave. Unfortunate. Here we go.
Blizzard World, map 2.
Blizzard well.
I just not realized, is Mrs. Crit filling for house?
No, Mrs. Crit is on house.
Are you sure? Because in the trade chat it says that 4 people that she's supposed to be to the Coven right now.
It was to let her know. He tagged.
Oh, that
him
was the
first.
tag. Okay,
Yeah.
that was gonna say that threw me off for a second. Okay, thank you for that clarification. I was like, wait, what?
She takes
Okay.
lead of the
Yeah, okay, that makes sense now.
team.
Yeah, I remember that. The way it looked, it made it look like she was part of the trade, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It threw me off. Okay, never mind that. Yeah, that got me there for a second. I was
Good
like,
question.
something
A
not
very
up
good
right.
question to ask. A good question to ask.
It just did not look right. Okay, never mind. Fair play.
Because that was my same thought process.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Sam, you still with us, my man? How are ya? Falling asleep on us?
I'm here just looking at the Blizzard World map. It's a really beautiful map. Trying to get as many angles I can get.
5, 4, 3.
If it's a crit on the Hanzo, Firefox over to the Reaper.
Defend objective A.
Kyle flexing over to the Winston. They will be running a form of dive. They do have noob on the
Triple
hamster.
dive tank with the sniper on the side of Coven.
Cheston, unfortunately not able to find anything at the moment. An early Wraith form forced out though on the Firefox. Kyle diving in. Move as well. Not much really coming out of that at the moment. Kyle kind of by himself at the moment. No, rest of his team does get in there. This crit falling very low. Kane as well falling very low. Pick on the noob. Trades going in favor of the defense. And house will hold seemingly for the moment. This comes in. Oh, an early pick though, Chaston. They don't have res up as well. Does house. They could push on this. Reaper does have Death Blossom. Grab Death Blossom, gets 1.5. A lot of ults invested in both sides, so both support
Captain with
ults.
2 picks though.
Yep. Both support ults from both teams being used there. So they kill on the chest, and they will hold for the moment. They do have an interesting combo though, does House. They do have the Shatter Dragon. Potential combo there. 4 ultimates though online. For Coven. Kyle diving in. Diva Bomb
Oh,
does
nice
get
pick.
the Mercy.
Big pick.
Dragon's just on the point trying to keep everyone off. Primal being forced out of Kyle as well. Grab gets a couple from Nub, managing to kind of keep his team in this. Chaston grabs a couple, but just not enough. He gets 3 actually there. Depending on how quickly they can get back into this, they could potentially push this, but Chaston is being chased down very heavily. I don't think he'll make it out alive. Nope, and it'll be a very late stagger. And actually, it's a crit trying to do the Widow v Widow. Swaps over to the Widow himself.
Enemy contact.
They are running Pharmacy though. Is the Coven. Kyle flexing over to that Pharah. Stun comes into Noob. Noob gets chunked down pretty low. Able to keep him alive for the moment. There we go. Shatter gets 3. And the Death Blossom just to clean up. Coalescence being used in that fight as well.
That's gonna be another reset for the Coven.
They do have Valve to potentially push here, and they will have sights.
30 seconds remaining.
Meanwhile, no ults online for the defensive side. Chastin owning the Widow duel right now. Getting picks, but unfortunately they're not able to really follow up on them. Shatter comes in, only manages to catch one. And Noob falls. Trella falls as well.
And there was not enough follow-up
Everyone.
for that shatter.
Everyone is falling for the Coven. Kyle, the last one alive. Grav comes in, just a bit of a celebratory.
And that's a full hold for the House of Evolution.
Score 0-0. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Solid hold from House. They only need the one tick. Let's see what kind of comp they're choosing to run here. It's a near mirror matchup. The only difference being the Zenyatta,
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Zenyatta and the Reaper on both sides respectively. Oh, nope, as I said, yeah. No, they're going for a triple support setup here. Looks like it's the defense. Chastin on that solo DPS. See how this works out for them. They won't have a lot of follow-up damage, considering they only have the Widow, if Kyle's able to get off a grab, but we'll see how this goes.
Defend objective A.
Oh, an early pick from Mitsukrit. Managing to get the better of Chastin right now. Rotating point, Mitsukrit gets another pick on the Trella. Bit of a very late rotation from the Coven, unfortunately. And the rest will just be cleanup kills. Chastin switched over to the Diva just to try to get back quickly. Shatter comes in. It's just a Lucio on point, but
Matthew goes to House of Evolution.
yeah.
Play of the game. Triple epic.
Just doing my part.
My apologies, I was gone for a little while.
It's all good, my dude.
Did I miss anything exciting?
Not really, no. Just a full hold and a very quick cap for House.
Mm.
Yeah, they chose to run with a triple support defense for the Coven. And Chastin had been owning Mr. Crit for a good majority of the game when the sniper be sniper, but Crit managed to get the early picks, onto Chastin and onto Trella on the Zenyatta, and that was just it from there. Not a lot really happened that match, unfortunately. It was a rather quick one.
Okay. Because I was just doing some little bit of chores around the house with little time I had. So, something that was necessary.
All good.
Next map is Oasis.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure everybody's ready. Perfect. Oasis, you said?
Yeah, and both teams are ready.
Said my brain. I almost said boat. And I almost called my brain a boat. Ah. Goodness me.
Welcome to Oasis.
Yeah. I might not be available for the final map.
Initiating
'Cause
match.
I gotta be somewhere. What's the stat line right now?
It is 2-0 to House.
Okay. Thank you much.
And we have the beautiful city center. Here.
Ready for battle.
I also can't remember if there's any other games today.
I don't believe there is. But what I do know is we have a very interesting form of goats coming out
Round 1.
from the Coven.
Capture the objective.
Not your typical goats.
Goats with Mercy.
Mercy instead of the Zenyatta.
You don't really. Zenyatta, you would need a Moira instead of a Mercy. Zenyatta you would use in replacement for kind of an DPS if you still want the initial healing on board. So, because technically, if you can play the Zenyatta correctly, you can use the Moira as a DPS.
Basically. He has also a lot of your shield break as well. Early charge pin onto banana cream soda.
Kane already almost at his. Ready for has his shatter. He might just use the shatter to flex on anybody else who doesn't have the shatter.
Oh, they actually get 3 picks there, does Coven. Well,
Lava
2
one.
actually is level.
Big shatter.
Just takes a
Shatter
bit.
grabbing 2, but no follow up though.
Throwing
Speed
to
drop
the
was not
res.
necessary at the end of the team fight.
Oh,
And
the DC on the side of
Lava
house.
Lamb
That's
receives,
unfortunate.
unfortunately. It's a crit choosing to switch over to the Pharah. And Firefox nearing that Death Blossom. They are nearing the big combos that they're looking to have here in Blossom and Grab. Shatter gets
Shatter
3 in the
by
back line.
Koa.
The shield bash coming in. Perfect coordination there. And they get the team wipe. Well, as I say that, Win actually does manage to make it out alive. I didn't even notice. An early rally.
Nice. Grab.
Both Garrett's
whole
coming
team.
out.
Keep them on we'll get. Weaver.
The Coven with 3 picks, so they do have the man advantage for the moment. And a late pin on Detrella. comes out. Coalescence as well. Barrage doesn't manage to get anything. Does pay for it. His life. Good shatter, gets 3 there, but does fall, unfortunately. And House will get the cap, 5v6.
Oh well. It's 1-0 for Coven.
Wait, hold on. Okay, then it's okay. My color
House
scheme is
does
off
DC.
then because it shows.
House is playing with 5, and they're losing
Yeah.
1-0 on this.
Okay, then the color scheme for some reason on my layout is wrong because it shows the team that's in front is House and not the Coven. Okay, so Coven up 1-0 then.
Yep. Coven's up.
Yeah, the color scheme is like throwing me off right now for some reason. That's fine. So, okay, now Llama's switching over to the mortar this time. It's a crit. It seems that they're running just a man down short version of goats with the snows, excuse me. Firefox on the May. It's a crit falls early though. Kane falls shortly after, and the Coven are just cleaning up the kills at this point.
The objective is now
First cap over to House. Over to Coven, excuse me. A very aggressive pin from Trella there. He will fall. Trade still, but a huge shatter gets everyone but Chastin. Grab as well comes in. Just clean up kills up now.
On the objective.
Oh, I didn't even have my mic muted. Oh. Kane Hutch
That
with
is
a
it.
very savior charge onto the Diva, keeping Nub alive.
Quite a few ults being used. The Blizzard was eaten though. Kyle difference with a huge eat there. A lot of ults being expended on both sides. Shadow comes in, only manages to catch Trella. Ab comes out, the cleanup kills are in, Nub is the last one alive. He will fall. Lava Lamp is actually back, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
He's spectating though.
Yeah, he can spend the game, not like they.
Would I be able to throw him back in?
I think so.
Or would that be illegal? You think so? I'm gonna catch a flack for it. It's we're having way too much fucking problems. And my apologies for the language. Way too many problems.
yeah.
I would much rather this also.
There we go.
Yeah.
Log out on.
Both rallies being used, but Coven just having more picks go in their favor.
Lava Lamp
House
on the
has-
Lucio here.
Yeah, House has 1, maybe 2 pushes if they're lucky.
Firefox uses the Blizzard. Keep Diva away from him. 15 seconds on the clock if left uncontested.
check this out. Gale the Mahol. Gale the Mahol.
Blizzard comes out.
The ice.
Every ult being expended here.
What
What a
Kyle
huge
with
Diva
a
bomb!
3K! They full team wipe for the Coven.
And Coven
Will be taking
taking that
one
through.
map. take me 1 map off. Got lucky.
So yeah, my understanding of the rule though, as far as the whole DC with Lava Lamp, was that even though he DC'd, if it's the same player, then you can bring him back in. But I could be wrong.
Well, I think you actually are correct on that.
Epic. To be expected.
Yeah, because if it was someone random or anything like that, then obviously yeah, they wouldn't play.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't on the initial lineup, or the lineup that started the match. That's probably a better way to put it.
Yeah.
Technicalities and stuff like that. Back to the lobby. Alright, I've got to get this game to hurry up a little bit. A little bit. Alright, who and who and who? Grossy for fire. And this is for win. And the map is Rialto, am I correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, it is Rialto.
Map 4 is Rialto. And the Coven is gonna swap Trella for Hums.
And I need to make sure I make them, make him. Is he red? Yes, he's red.
Yep.
Settings, maps, none. It was Rialto, yes. Competitive rules are on. Plug that. Rosie for fire. Okay. Main fire. There. Should be good. Yeah, my brain's fried right now.
That's like mine right now. I'm also like low-key starving. So good thing this is map 4.
Initiating match.
But with the score being 2-1, the Coven does have a little bit of momentum after that last map win. Let's see if they can carry it into Rialto here. And let's see if any team will buckle under the pirate ship strat, if they so choose. It is a very popular strat to run here. Also just a lot of boop characters in general. Especially for this first point.
Ready for battle.
Looks like House will be attacking first. Potentially going with the pharmacy setup. Nub onto the Widow.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Oh no, they're on the defense, excuse me. God, this color scheme is off for some reason. Why? It shows the red is in spawn, which is House, but whatever, I'll fix that later. They will be running the form of Moira goats on the attack for Coven.
5, 4, 3,
They want to get this win and tie the game.
incoming.
I don't blame them.
They do, and it looks like they're going to be doing a flanking push. It's a crit here, but unfortunately not able to really get anyone with a concussion blast for some reason. Everyone stays above. 3 falling very low. Nub does manage to pick off Hamza, but the pick's going in favor of the Coven. I say that Llamas does fall. Chastin falls as well. But they do have payload progression going for the moment. Hamza falling very low, but pushing it away to safety. Noob gets hooked in. Will fall. Integrate does have the barrage. Doesn't really have anything to combo with it though, so. After that, he does pull it, but Chastin gets the kill as Kyle was able to eat most of that damage. A Diva Bomb coming out from Kyle does manage to catch out Lava Lamp. And a good shatter from you. Gets 3 there. Nub will unfortunately get staggered pretty late here though.
And a quick question really quick. Coven did win last match, correct?
Yep.
They did.
2-1 for house.
I need to write that down for
Coalescence coming out and seemingly just trying to go after the Pharah. Valley comes out, whole hog. This crit manages to get the res onto Lava. Both shatters being used. A good shatter gets 3 there. Or 4 I believe actually. And a very late beat coming in from Lava. Potentially just trying to stall it out here. It is just Roadhog. They will fall. And Coven will capture first point. Potential late staggers here onto both Nub and Kane. Well, as I said, they do manage to get away for the moment. Misses crit. As I say that, misses crit does fall to the Fire Strike. Noob getting 2 gets to pick on the Kane as well. Pays for it with his life though. But they do get a lot of real estate here with this payload push. With those late staggers. Both DPS ults online for house. Quite a few ultimates coming online for the Coven. Shatter gets blocked. As Blossom comes in. Easy defensive matrix. Counter Shatter comes in, doesn't get anything. Diva Bomb as well being expended.
Lots of ults coming out right now.
Late pin on the Grossi, but with that, nope, he does unfortunately fall. I was gonna say, with the vape, he might have been able to stay alive, but unfortunately does fall. Ult economy still seeming to kind of plague both teams a little bit, as there were a lot of ults expended on the side of the Coven specifically in that fight. I believe that grab was it Eden? Where did it go? I don't even know. Both shatters coming out. Picks going in favor of the defensive side. And a very interesting use for Tyre there. But they still have picks going in their favor. And a very late stagger on the Hamza here. And House will finally get a solid hold. Quite a few ultimates coming online from both sides. As I say that, it's only Mrs. Crit. The rally for the defensive side for House. Ken comes in, doesn't get anyone. But a good shatter, stopping the Diva Bomb from going anywhere. Huge play by Kane. It's a crit, does have the barrage. They do have beat, and they're nearing the whole hog and the Riptire. Stun on comes out on the noob. Both ults being used. Lava Lamp unfortunately falls. 3 down, though. 4 actually. Pyre comes in as doesn't get anything, gets shut down by Kyle. But that cream soda unfortunately does fall to the total mayhem. With both beats being used in that last fight though.
It's the greatest now on the Bastion. For the shield break.
Grab comes in. Only gets a couple. Coalescence follow-up comes in. Fever Bomb as well. Doesn't catch anyone though. The pick's going in favor for House, or for Coven, excuse me. Blade picks
Yep, looks
on the
like
Lava and
Coven will
Grossi.
get this. Yep.
And the Coven managed to complete the payload.
Score 0-3.
I believe they did have some time left in the time bank. Just over a minute.
Initiating match.
That was a solid job by Houso to bleed out the time bank from Coven. Fortunately, it was just not enough. Coven managed to be able to push it through.
I wonder if the Coven
we
will
shall
stay with goats on defense.
Considering the map, they probably will. And considering they seem to have had better success on goats than they did in their other compositions that they've been running.
Yep, there it is. Looks like House of Evolution will go triple tank with Bastion. So they're gonna go
They
with
do have the
Pirate Ship.
double mage shield.
Yep,
Attackers incoming.
they're gonna go try Pirate Ship.
A very interesting form of pirate ship because typically you see the Reinhardt instead of the Winston.
My apologies, gentlemen. I will have to go. I have to be somewhere now.
Alright, my dude.
Sorry, I haven't been here much, but I apologize. You guys have a wonderful
It's all
night.
good, man.
Alright, you too, my dude. Take it easy.
Thanks.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Escort
UCO gets the boop. Doesn't manage to get anyone though, but Chastin does manage to make it out with his life. Ooh, falls early. It's a crit, does fall in return, but the res comes in. We get the D-mech on the Kyle. And the rest of Coven will essentially fall. I was to say that they're stalling fairly well considering the picks that have had gone against them. We do manage to finally force the rest back. The late stagger on the Chastin. And the payload keeps moving.
Hamza does switch to Bastion over there.
Bastion v Bastion. Which one will reign supreme? It's a crit falls. The rest comes in response, but does not. Gets denied.
So Diva bomb on both sides.
Bomb doesn't
No,
get
Diva
anything
bomb.
though.
No. Coven does have picks now.
Huge rally. Huge rally came in though from Banana Cream Soda, keeping everyone alive. Good usage of coalescences there as well there. Excuse me. They do have the beat, and Hamza already has that tank modal.
And he almost has coverage stroke too. Oh, nice fire strike.
Noob with the fire
By
strike
Noob.
kill.
On the up floor. Spirit will get the res.
Time to raise my APM.
Both Bastion ults being used at the exact same time. Beat comes in as well. It's a crit falls. Nub falls. That'll be a
That's
hold.
wow.
I'm ready to initiate self-destruct sequence.
Nub switching off. Goes over to Zarya. Kane over to the Reinhardt this time. And it's a crit, choosing to go with the Pharah. It's a bit of an interesting choice given the Bastion, but he does have the pocket. Or he does have the
They
potential
also that
pocket.
was you.
Diva Bomb comes in. Does get Kane. That's both main tanks gone. Shadow comes in. Not much really happens with it though. You do get the clean out kills though. And a late stagger on it. It's a crit. We could potentially be seeing map 5 at this point.
We might, yes. They might get a
My
full
stomach
roll
is
here.
gonna hate it, but we could potentially see the reverse sweep here. Coven, very close to full holding. Grossi over to the Roadhog. Still in that triple tank setup. Beat comes in, Coalescence in response. Hamza falling very low, but he does have that ult. Gets hooked.
Oh, Bastion all got shut down
Does.
immediately.
Does get shut down.
Oh, huge shatter and counter shatter from.
Shatters on both sides. But seemingly the bigger value coming from Kane as they were able to get the rest of the
Looks
cleanup
like
kills.
We'll be able to cap this.
They expended
Not over
quite
yet.
a few ultimates there though. I don't think that Coven will be able to get back in time to contest this. No,
Nope.
they will not. But no, they expended quite a few ultimates there though. They basically used 4 ultimates. 3 to 4 ultimates there. They did get the point though.
Still a grab as well, and they have whole hawking up.
An aggressive push
Here
and
comes
Chaston
grab.
falls early. Only gets 1, but the DMET comes in. Picks going in favor of House. Late potential stagger here onto Baby Diva and the Moira. Lamas does fall. Al does manage to get back into the net. See if he manages to make it out alive. Nope. Does get DMET again. Hamza over to the McCree. Rally comes in early from Banana. Coalescence coming in. You managed to get the pick onto both the crits. Beats being used on both sides. A good shatter.
Another shatter.
Counter shatter comes in. Doesn't really get anyone.
Now grab gets 2. Nope, 1. Alright. No retaliation.
Grab was almost
looks like the
almost
Coven
a
has-
waste there.
Yeah, that goes to Coven. Yeah. I think I done the worst.
They good. They force out the Diva Bomb though. Kyle had to use it in order to get his mech back.
Yeah.
Now show them.
So, two ultimates kind of being wasted by both teams. They do get the Diva Bomb obviously there, but Nub seemingly, it may not have been a complete waste, but he did seemingly waste the grab there that last fight, as there wasn't a lot of follow up. Hainu comes in,
Yeah,
both
that's
shatters coming in.
Kane.
Kane falls. It's a crit falls, but the res comes in to pick still going in favor of the Coven, and the Coven could potentially hold them here on second point.
Yep. Yep, that's gonna do it.
They've held them.
We're getting map 5.
My stomach hates this, but we have ourselves a good game, ladies and gentlemen.
Play of the game.
You gotta imagine with the momentum, Coven could potentially take this. We do go to the tiebreaker control map,
Yeah,
which I believe
which
is
Nepal.
Nepal. Considering the comps that have been run, I kinda gotta favor Coven. They have the momentum and they're running goats fairly well. And I mean, even though to be fair, they weren't running a complete goats there towards the end because Hamza did switch off over to the sole DPS. They did fairly well.
Agreed. All the momentum's on their side. Okay. No subs from Coven, House of Evolution. It's gonna sub win for Lava and America for Grossi. Bring back the Junkrat. Man. For Lava. Interesting. Seven out the Lucio main for this map. Alright, both teams should be good. Alright, both teams are ready to go. Map 5 underway. Winner takes all.
Traveling to Nepal.
Could we potentially have two teams that were winless before suddenly get their first win?
No, actually, House of Evolution did get a win last week.
No, I'm talking about the Coven here, my friend.
Initiating match.
I don't
Oh, yeah,
believe the
true,
Coven
true.
has won yet.
Yeah, Coven hasn't won yet.
So-
did get their win, first win previously, and now it's maybe the Coven's turn.
We shall all see in due time.
Indeed.
We will have a sanctuary. Point for our first point here. Could potentially see goats be goats.
Ready for battle.
It's basically a mirror matchup. Well, no, as I say that, I did
No, with the
forget that they
Reaper
did
and
swap
the
in America. Yeah, America on the signature Junkrat. It's
But
great
we
choosing
do see
this
goats again for
flex
the
over
Coven.
Reaper.
They're looking to secure this win. With the momentum on their side.
They do have the momentum.
Yep.
See if they can be able to capitalize on it.
2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Ooh, gets booped out of position.
Game by Banana.
The objective is
Early pin onto the banana. That's 3 down. Or seemingly 3 down now, as I do get the DMAC on the Kyle.
Yep, that's 3 down now. House has the advantage.
3 down.
Hamza.
Potential more staggers here. Hamza very low. Llamas as well, but Llamas, unfortunately. And Hamza! Both, unfortunately, fall there, and then it'll be a reset. House nearing all 6 ultimates. Riptire comes in. Just managed to catch out Noob. Solid pick by the Junkrat. Does get traded out though. Coven themselves are now nearing all 6 ultimates. Both shadows coming out. Both not really getting much.
In this fight. It looks like
Both grabs coming in as
Coven will
well.
have. Looks like they have the advantage. Yep, they will capture this
A lot of ults being expended there.
from both sides. Yep.
Five for the side of Coven. And just about all, and actually everything there being expended from the House as well, because House did use the Riptire before in the fight previously. So they used everything there.
And here comes Rally now. From Coven, sure.
Two early picks, and that'll force 3 early, as I said that, and that'll force a reset.
Chastin.
Shatter comes in from Noob, does get a couple. Only really able to get one pick off of it for the moment. Counter comes in and it gets blocked. Huge block from Noob. They get the early pick on the Mrs. Crit though. Well, unless it's even being used from wind there. They are nearing both DPS ults and the grab.
Self-destruct.
Super bomb thrown into the back. Gets Kane. Retire in response. Gets the D-Mech back on the Kyle. Erica gets 2 there.
Grab comes up on both
grabs
sides.
being used. Coalesce himself for the side of the Coven. Keeping everyone alive for the moment. Beat as well being used there. Shadow gets 3. Blossom comes in, gets nothing, gets denied by Kyle. Let's get demeched though. Kane nearly pinned off the map. Both Reinhardt's very low at the moment. A late Riptire comes in, gets the last 2 picks.
Got 2 picks. And that will secure the point for House.
And a very late stagger on the Hamza as well. But they cannot lose another team fight. They have no ultimates to work with here outside of potentially both tank ults.
Yeah.
Because Nub's very close onto that grab as well. They don't have anything at the moment. They do have the rally though. Rally and Neri both tank ults is Coven themselves. America falls very low. The Shatter gets stunned. Gets stunned out of it. Grab gets quite a few, but they managed to recontest while the grab comes in. Good Shatter though from King. It's a couple. He unfortunately gets booped off. No follow-up with that. Every ultimate being expended on both sides. Blossom comes in, but a Diva Bomb gets 2.
Self-destruct Dick gets 2.
Diva Bomb gets 2, America gets 1 with the Junkrat, Riptire, and the picks going in favor of House for the moment. They will get the recap, and I don't think that anyone will be able to contest.
Yep.
Nope. Unfortunately, Kyle gets booped off at a very close 99 to 100% round for the first round there. But the round does go in favor of House, so some small momentum built back from that.
So they're gonna stick to goats. And no changes.
Both teams.
Both teams are gonna stick with their comps.
No swaps coming in for either side. We'll see if this plays out any better. Coven will need to win this round in order to keep their chances of the reverse sweep alive. House looking to go straight to point this time, as you generally see most teams take that high ground like the Coven. Typically in the brawl comp though, Coven does have the advantage. So see how this goes. Early pin on the Banana Cream Soda again! Both shields are down as the Reinhardt gets picked off as well. Everyone else will just seemingly be staggered. And House take the first capture progress point again. That's the second fight, the second round in a row that Banana Cream Soda has been the first one picked.
The llamas.
That cannot happen if you're Coven. Your Brigitte cannot be the first one picked 2 times in a row, 2 opening fights in a row like that.
So they stopped
this
off
time they
to
will
go with
switch
Sarah
it
now.
They do lose the Diva, or they lose the Diva. Now switches over to the Zarya. Good shatter. Gets 4 from Kane. Cleanup comes in. Everyone else falls. Hamza, unfortunately, could potentially get staggered here.
Yep.
Does get staggered out. And already 50% in favor of House. They're nearing a lot of ultimates as well, with the Shatter being used by Kane being the only one that they used the last fight. Meanwhile, with all the swaps coming in for the Coven, they really don't have anything to work with here. They're only nearing the Coalescence. Good grab, gets quite a few. 3
Tire.
with the
America.
tire. Coalescence coming out as well from Win.
And some tactical crouching there by Mr. Squared.
A little bit from Nub as well.
Coven has one last push left.
They still really don't have any ultimates to work with here. They're nearing a couple. That Blossom gets 1. That's 2 supports and your main tank down already. This is gonna be game.
Yeah, that's gonna be a split.
A bit of an unfortunate end to the match, as so much momentum was on Coven's side, but House will take the map and they take the series 3-2.
House of Evolution once again generates a reverse sweep for the second straight week. Really good gameplay by both teams.
Pure class.
GG's to both teams. And now, MVP. Honestly, for the Coven, I think MVP has to go to Chastin. Or I would say Chastin or Kyle. And then for House, I would have to say Nub was definitely very good, but Kane also had some moments as well.
So last message
I
we
honestly-
had, he said MVPs for him were Kane for House of Evolution and Kyle for the Coven.
Kyle and Kyle? Okay. So
Kyle and
then Kyle and Kane will be our MVPs for today.
Yep, agreed. And that's gonna do it for this week. Stay tuned for next week's games. Next week was week 5.